think what we'll do instead is go straight to the 2025-2026 mug planning. Let's see how we can get bigger, better, more people attending in person and remotely. So a couple things for, I'd like to invite Deb and Angelica to come up, please, for 2024 mug and for hosting and all of the hard work that you guys did for us in order for us to enjoy this beautiful space. Yes, so thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. And then for this year's planning committee, Penny and Danielle, on that please. And thank you.
And I just want to add that Jackie did a ton of work as well. Also, we piggyback so off from the, I think, subs. And
Oh, come on in.
Sorry, Laura. Oh, no, I want to be on like the left. We could have two on the left, two on the right.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Okay, so we've got a few questions. We want to do a bit of planning. Location and dates for 2025. Danielle and I have been chatting, and Danielle has offered that we could go to Groton for 2025. Interest? Yes, people will do the travel to get to Groton for next year. That was an easy decision, I think.
And should these dates work? Like last year was in May as well.
Yeah,
It was about this week.
and generally near the end of May, if we want to keep with that timeline.
I think that, yeah, generally, it's sort of always been in this time frame. Because April's been tough for whatever reason, I can't remember. And then you guys are busy.
We have a number of user groups that we need to coordinate around.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think maybe what we'll do is I'll communicate with Danielle about our North Star timing for other user groups. And then for affiliates, business units that come that you guys want to hear about, they have other things going on during different times as well. So we kind of need to do some internal coordination, find out what makes sense. So we'll figure out a date, but we'll try to keep to the end of May. And does the Wednesday, Thursday tend to make sense for everybody? Excellent.
2026. Post, or do we know of any other utilities that? And I don't know how people would feel about traveling from Vermont. Like we could travel either
Oh,
in.
I love Vermont.
I've never been.
That's Vermont, okay, buddy.
No, it's not muddy in May. We're past mud season. Although you never can tell, you could get the rain snowstorm still, but, I mean, we could, I don't think a utility could host, because there's just two of us, and I know we don't have a big enough space. We might be able to find one right in town, but we could find a location. If we felt like somebody might, if we felt like people would travel to Vermont.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they've got space.
And I was, yeah, that brings up the other question. Do you guys want to continue to do it at the utilities and have the utilities host? Or do you feel like you'd want to go to an outside venue? There may be costs involved with an outside venue that could require a little bit of contribution from those attending. Is that something that's of appetite? For the Southeast user group, they only want to do an inside venue. Their preference is not to do it at the utilities, but I know doing it at the utility has been working for MUG for a number of years. So putting it out to the group.
I will say I enjoyed this because of you and you know what I mean? So this has been great versus like when we hosted. You're just in a conference room,
yeah.
no window, you know.
Right. So, I mean, like in my mind thinking, and again, if it would happen to be in Morrisville, I'm thinking we do have a VFW that we've been able to use charge. And it's, big enough, but you are in the VFW. Town, their offices may or may not. So they have select board meetings and stuff, so, again, so you're not in a pretty environment like this.
Yeah, the view here is deep, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And, so for other, user groups, they do a hotel, and then say often it's conference room in a hotel. But then everybody goes out and walks around and sees the bit of the town and has dinner out. So it's very similar to this.
It's for stingy with ratepayer money, so it's easier for me to justify coming to this, and then maybe it's, NEPA or APPA or some other conference or HTPC. So, right.
Yeah.
No, I like that for this one, I was able to just get away with one night hotel and it was.
And I'm in kind of that way as well. Yeah.
So just.
So I do have. Chester by the Sea would be for people, but I don't know if you've ever heard of Tux Point as a beautiful outdoor location. But if I do have some connection in Manchester, I wonder if.
That means after New Hampshire?
No, just around Manchester by the Sea,
Okay.
I Gloucester, so it would be kind of far for some utilities. But they have public venues where, what if we did like a full day? That just a thought. to get-
Yes, we're always open to options. The user groups really are for the user, by the users. It's really what you feel your utility will allow for costs, for time away, for travel. We would like to open it up to be more than just Massachusetts, and get more of a Northeast user group. I don't know if I like will as a, as an acronym, but yes, we would like to try to get more people, even if we can. So it may mean being more centralized and.
But to that point, so I know there's 2 Vermont companies. Are there any New Hampshire companies using North Star?
New Hampshire.
It's usually New Hampshire unless it's co-ops.
We've got like this works, Norfolk's,
And then,
So when you're most north,
or I guess newer, broad, and think about the other ones along.
there's nobody in, so I mean, I think that's probably just
Wasn't there
papers.
New York, wasn't there like New York? Something?
Yeah, New York, New Jersey.
They have their own, they're supposed to be a part of this.
yeah, a few of us have discussed it. We can try and the user group, like to be a day or two for certain hundred amounts that we have budgets for the pump, because not like a lot of you are already getting a lot of the utility users coming there, so. Utility, hey, I'll be gone for these 4 days.
Are there other utilities?
I don't know if you guys are looking at brother.
So in Vermont, no, there's only, that I'm aware of, there's only the 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, to the NEPA, to her question.
Oh, yeah, well, there's a ton of utilities in NEPA.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on the board of directors for NEPA. And,
Yes.
yeah, but they.
Okay. So I guess what I'm hearing is we're open to outside venue as long as it's not super costly to. If it's at a hotel, then it's not a.
I like to Angelica's point about the need. The only thing I would ask, like, your 2 folks had to get out.
Right.
So would utilities be able to let their employees go for 4 days, even though they're already there? And
So
that,
you've got a day to travel and then your 2 days on the site.
if you're coming to that,
And then 3 days. So the things that we can discuss, we can put it out in the survey, maybe we can talk about 3 different options for the where for 2026. If we're already agreed, Groton makes sense for 2025.
It's actually, I was looking at outside the place as well, because the city owned the house, so there wouldn't be any cost involved.
Okay.
And it's near.
Fantastic.
Okay, the house is like kind of.
Yeah.
Weird, but.
It's gonna be.
It's still July.
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
free.
Okay.
It's
I'll figure out the plan for 2026, that'll be, and then, What about, what did you like about this year? Versus previous years, was there something specific this year that you?
Usually from the
But-
offers.
Sure.
Then, yeah.
Anyway, and not, you know,
Yeah,
that's why I have it. It's like we're small, and we have everybody trying to pop in, and
true,
it's nice to unplug. Be like offsetting.
excellent.
But I think we need to focus on training versus
Okay.
necessarily vendor, you know, showcases.
Yeah,
Because I think a lot of the folks that stayed on, from our utility who are not participating as much in this because they're the end user. Right. So.
They're not the ones making the decisions about when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works more focused and more, you know, in depth on like collection or. You know.
Yeah.
How meters or stories.
so I think what we need from you guys is to tell us what it is that you want the training. Because otherwise it's in sort of the same collections or we can do deposits instead, rates tends to be one that we do and then the data or.
The more specific, not just saying training, like what do you
Yeah.
want training on? What, yes, yeah.
So like that one that I took that we hosted, it had a whole suite of everything. It was like on the financial side, what you should be doing for month end close, areas to look at. You know, the cashiering component is in there. It was more HTCT, smaller level for the end user.
Yep.
Well, have you ever,
Care conference.
do we ever attended, and I know we have trainings and stuff, but I don't think there was ever like a breakout session for the Northeast user group or itself, but that might be a lot of the utilities are sending a great amount of staff to the age.
2 years ago when I went.
Well, there's-
they did.
Generally, the pre-conference has specific training. Speed
Yeah.
training is full day, new user training or advanced level. Or reports, yeah. So there is a training option. It is usually a paid option, the pre-conference. We could add more training to the user groups, but I think what we've heard in the past is you want more conversation about experience and how we're using. So there was talk about the speed dating, you know, letting each other know. Yeah. So we can add an element of that, if that makes sense.
Cause I would like, this like the roundtable stuff, like, 'cause I wrote down a note for something that I forgot to ask everybody how they use something.
And we could increase the, like, ask the expert and the tips and tricks, or, you know, maybe that's 2 hours.
For that organic
Yeah.
conversation of like,
Yes.
oh, you do this.
Yeah.
How do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we had
Right.
this.
Yeah.
You know? Piggyback on what Stacey's saying about that. It would be nice to have like the vendor specific stuff be like, and then this could be more of a training on issues and what this new functionality is. That's great. You know, so that we're focused on learning from each other, like, I mean. Do it with us, we can show you some of the stuff that we're
Yeah.
currently working on. And then that's just an hour of our time away from that.
And or could we, instead of listening to like 5 presentations, could we do like what you do at the conference and have the vendors set up somewhere and we not just during break, but you take a whole hour.
There would
Of the day.
committed.
Yes,
time.
exactly. A whole hour of like like a half an hour in the morning, half, or whatever. And you know, you are expected to have those conversations and then you could say, maybe there's a few of us that. Or maybe you sign up for 15-minute blocks during that hour. And you can, each of you talk to the, so the vendors can feel like they're coming here for a purpose as well.
Well, there is the other option, speed dating.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
There's that, yeah.
Okay. And then the other option of the speed dating is the vendor could be at the table, you know, who has SmartWorks, who's interested in SmartWorks. Okay, you guys go to sit at the SmartWorks table and Bob is there to help answer questions. You're giving your user experience And those that are interested can ask questions about, well, does it do this?
So if you think about the agenda, and I don't really know, like, how much time did we spend on the vendor presentations?
Right.
We could still do something abbreviated, but have them, so then you're talking, like, I'm coming to you because I want to talk to you, or maybe I don't know what you do, but, you know, I'm not gonna listen to SmartWorks because we already have a path in mind that's like predetermined before, you know, somebody else. Yeah, but before I forget, I need to, Marie wanted me to ask how many of you folks that do SmartWorks now would like a SmartWorks users group? Did she, I think the email,
Yeah, she emailed us.
and I guess I don't know if she's looking at, because I think maybe she talked to some of you last night, or whether she's looking for a completely new users group setup, or if it's a piggyback from this. Anybody talk to her that might have a little more insight?
We can send an email back and forth. Really, do not be worried about. I just want to throw in a plug that. You know, the Smart Start is creating. Or there's gonna tie into the knowledge base, but if I want to watch a video instructions,
That's
like step-by-step tutorial. Just a bump.
Yeah, good thought.
It's a good,
You know,
he was very here that had asked for that. It's separate.
Okay, separate users group,
Well, because normally we have,
right,
you know.
Well, and I don't know if it would be a full thing.
We're a breakout.
Yeah, if it was part of the start.
Right. It's right, today's a half day. If we want to take 2 full days, other half of it would be just for the smart works. Not people that program over the time to kind of, oh, if I know, there's here from 8 to 9 doing this, all right, I have to leave, I can be here. We're already on this path, we already have this.
Right.
So that they're able to justify the time away.
So we'll send a survey. Oh, sorry, just real quick, we'll send a survey. What I'd like you to do is make those suggestions, right? Extra half day for SmartWorks breakout. The question that you had about, you know, specific training, I'd like to learn more about X and tell us what that is. Sorry, Debbie, go ahead.
I just want to see how everybody else feels about this, because I think it was you, I asked for a copy of the bug email distribution group, and you didn't think you could share it.
Right, so there were two things. If it's all the registrants and we're okay, the difficulty is we have all the customers that would sort of be within the Northeast that we're inviting. I can't share everyone's email addresses without really asking if that.
Can you do that? Can you send out an email and ask?
I
Or
don't know, I think I will
third would
do
be
that.
nice, where you might,
Yeah.
so I'm part of the sound, it's a Facebook page or forum or whatever.
Right.
We ask questions, no one answers me.
Well, that's what they, you know, they have the APPA listserv, so I'd love to have something like that, but just for us, you know, just an email, then it's.
Specific, so that.
Well, I'd also like to find that list because I'd like to try to see like, why people try to come, it's too far, we can't get away. We're trying to make our group bigger and better.
I just.
No, that's great. So if we're sending a survey, then maybe what we could do, is send the survey out to everyone who would have been invited and ask if you didn't attend, can you please give us.
Or can you also ask a question?
Have a question that's pretty okay with the sharing. it
Exactly.
Over everybody, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can put
And
that,
this way, whoever said no, remove them and then share that list.
you know,
I think
so
that.
maybe you say in preparation for future planning, are you okay if your email address is shared with the entire group?
Perfect. Okay, so I will.
I'll try to remember that.
All of this and,
And you're gonna send that to Danielle and Ida
yes.
before you email it out? Yeah.
So what about the form? It was sent as a form. It's like the form, you know, the invitation was sent as a form. You guys had to go in, fill stuff out. It allowed me to know who responded, you know, what time it came back, and the details for the planning. Is that okay? Or do you guys prefer a different method? That way it's not trying to find from everybody's separate email what their preference is. Okay.
How many times did I sign up?
Yes, that would be there's.
If you want anything that, you know, it's on the survey, maybe we need to, spot on there, but it's additional email addresses that. should be part of your. Like, if you said something to me, that I don't, like, let's just say there's,
Should we be adding
It's-
others from your?
yeah, utility, are there other people from your utility?
I should have asked someone to take notes.
Is it recorded still?
Probably still recording, yes, perfect. Other computers taking notes. Okay, any barriers that you guys see to attending in person,
We have cost being.
cost?
It's not fun. The CSRs, they're
Yeah.
not gonna attend.
So you would bring more users if there's more.
Yeah.
Well, so I think it's great having that hybrid options, right? Because you have staff where you look at the agenda, I have a few staff. I think about bringing, but my office is small, I can't afford for them to be gone, but I could certainly set the salary, I need for 3 hours to go in the conference room and attend this portion. Which I think is a great advantage to having,
Here's the other thought on, and I totally get. People don't have time or it's not content related. Drag them along anyway, and if you drag your extra person and you drag your extra person and it's building rapport and then you have time, I mean, it may feel like a wasted 8 hours or 16 hours or whatever, but they're gonna get something out of it and they're gonna build that relationship and they're gonna offer something to the group. I just don't.
I don't disagree with.
No, and I hear you, and I mean, when we were learning invoice cloud, we did shut the office for like hours at a time, it wasn't a full 8 hours. But
But it has to be worth your while.
and I'm not saying, yeah, if you're a small shop, you would be able to, but if you have the staffing, you can find something.
So it would be like.
Okay.
I see.
And for them to come,
Right.
there needs to be content that's going to be useful to them.
So is it going, okay, so this is a bigger discussion,
Yeah.
but what I'm hearing is some would prefer it to be user-based, where the other preferences is sort of manager level and decision makers understanding what's out there, what the issues are, and how to help solve issues. So there's sort of two.
And if you're getting that, managers at that level are going to HTC. It would mean the pre-conference, which more focuses on user training.
Okay. Well,
That's not that way. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all.
Communicate that, I'm assuming we're gonna have like another comment. Yeah, it's. No.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Online, we had, Lisa, thank you, Lisa. She said she finds the user group is best for discussions, a refresher or basic training and less on presentations. SmartWorks was wondering about interest in a user group and Marie said she would check out to see what others would be interested in. Response on the form. Thought it was good that we want to add if attending both these or one so that we know what the expectations are. And in person based on timing, current projects, and of course the agenda. So what is a barrier to attending? It's going to be agenda, timing, and content projects. So thank you, Lisa, for that input. Okay,
And then the only that you have on there, even the remote attendance, like. And you'll get to this in the survey, but you know, definitely, I mean, I'm assuming it was really hard to hear. Having like the mic up here, we were asking questions.
Speaker.
I can speak to
I
that.
did speakers. Okay, so we'll put a survey together. Really, the user group is going to be based on what you guys give us back. Then, the users will coordinate what it's going to look like with our assistants on agenda, sponsors. Okay, well, I think.
That's going to be sent out for all presentations, for all those or to the whole group.
Yes, we're going to be available on the knowledge
What
base.
is the recording, it's just in case somebody wants to go back to some of the presentation and support.
So we have to kind of separate the recording because it's sort of been amalgamated. We might have missed a couple of sessions, unfortunately, Smart DX this morning.
This is morning, you have up here.
So, but yes, the one.
Why don't you? I will take care of it.
Like they might get one that's kind of like one towards one, like the nice, the smart DX.
Yeah.
I might want to see the.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again, ladies.
Great. Thanks to everybody online for attending. That concludes MOAC 2024. Thanks, everybody.